Okay, so I had a message from Rhonda. Hi Darren, could you please do a video on shorting and hedge funds? Some questions. How do you trade in it? What do you look out for? What are the positives and negatives? I would like to learn about it and I am sure others probably do too. Thank you Rhonda, excellent questions. It is a very interesting subject, short selling. And once I understood short selling, I think I went to the next level in trading, because short selling means you can trade both sides of the market, and it is a really satisfying thing to know that you can make money whether the market is going up or the market is going down. Now let's just start by identifying what short selling is. Okay, so this is from Investopedia. What is short selling? Short selling is the sale of a security that is not owned by the seller or that the seller has borrowed. Short selling is motivated by the belief that the security's price will decline, enabling it to be bought back at a lower price to make a profit. Short selling may be prompted by speculation or by the desire to hedge downside risk. Investopedia. Okay, so that's saying that you are selling a stock that you don't yet own. So that being the case, if you're selling it before you buy it, you want the price to go down, because essentially you're doing the same thing. You're buying low and selling high, except you're doing it in reverse. You're selling high first and then you buy low to take the profit. Okay, so we know what shorting is. Now we'll just talk briefly about hedge funds. Hedge funds are attempting to get the maximum return on money with minimal risk. So what a hedge fund will do is they will go long and short at the same time to try and hedge out the risk. So if the market goes up, their long positions will make money. Their short positions might lose money over that time. But if they're smart and their long positions are quality positions, then even in a rising market, the good stocks theoretically will rise more than what the bad stocks do. So in a market that may go up 10%, you might only make 3 or 4%, but you've done it with very little risk. And that's what a hedge fund's there to do. And conversely, in a market that's falling, you can still make, in a market that falls 10%, you may still make 3 or 4%, I'm plucking figures here, but you can still have a decent return because your long stocks have fallen, yeah, but your short stocks have potentially fallen even more. So you still made money. And that's what a hedge fund essentially does. They're trying to protect your capital as best they can while still making a decent return. Look, even in good markets where the index is going up significantly, there are still stocks that are doing nothing or going down. So if you happen to be long, so let's just say the market's up 20%, the index is up 20%, there's going to be stocks in there that are up 50%. So let's say you're good enough to pick those stocks and you're up 50% on them. And there's also going to be stocks in that index that are down 50%. Even though the market's going great, for whatever reason, some stocks are going to be way down. So if you happen to pick them and go short, you're making money both ways. That's the perfect scenario and unlikely to happen, but potentially it can. So you're protected against whatever the market does, but you're still making better than market returns. Okay, so let's go through Rhonda's questions one by one. Okay, so personally, I use CFDs, which are contracts for difference. The problem with shorting is it is highly regulated. And I remember speaking to my full service broker several years ago saying, I want to short stocks, what do I need to do? And he read me this list of regulations. And as a private trader from my home office, there's no possible way I could have shorted using the traditional methods. So that's why I went to CFDs, and you're essentially doing the same thing using contracts for difference, except you may not necessarily be buying or selling the stocks on the open market. You may be taking a bet with the CFD provider. Now that's up to them, and that's a whole other story. But CFDs are a fairly effective way to do it. Some of the CFD providers I know of and that I use are Saxo, who I find very good, CMC Markets, who I find very good. ComSec have got theirs, I think IG. There's enough out there to choose from. So, they're still very regulated, and I personally feel very safe when I'm trading CFDs. But do your own research. And if you have any questions about a company, just let me know, and I'll give you my opinion on it. Well, it's the opposite. When I'm shorting, I'm looking for the opposite of what I'm looking for in a company that I'm going long on. So, some of the things that will make a company fall, bad news. You're looking for bad news that will affect the company's share price. And the good thing about bad news is it will affect the company's share price a lot quicker and generally a lot more severely than good news. Story about a company may or may not even be true, but if it's negative news and you get in that position early enough, and you can sort of make some pretty good gains fairly quickly. Just poor sentiment around a particular company or even around a sector, you're looking for that. So some companies are very cyclical. So say a mining company, at the moment I'm fairly bullish to mining companies, but generally I'm very happy to short mining companies at certain times because they are cyclical. You can also look for companies that have falling revenues, companies that have poor balance sheets, that have perhaps too much debt or growing debt. So all this stuff is the opposite of what you look for in a good company. So it is pretty much straightforward. Okay, now this is where it can get a little bit scary, because when you're shorting, the downside risk is unlimited. You can keep losing money because the stock keeps going up. A stock can go from $1 to $1,000 to $100,000. You don't know. And if you're short that position, you can get wiped out fairly quickly. And of course, on the other side of it, the upside risk is limited. If you go short a stock at $10, it can only go to zero. So you can only win the amount that you've risked, and you can lose whatever. So you've got to take that into account, and that's why shorting is not for everybody, because it is very, very dangerous. You do really have to be active if you want to be a shorter. You've got to be far more active than if you're just going long on positions, because money can disappear very quickly. You can't just go on holidays for 2 weeks and forget your portfolio, because in that 2 weeks the stock might go from $10 to $50. Whereas if you're a long position, all it can do is go to zero. So you do have to be far more active. And when I'm shorting, if there's two ways. If I'm trading and I'm shorting, I am far quicker in and out of positions generally. Whereas if I'm hedging, which is a different sort of portfolio that I run, then you are looking sort of longer term, because you're looking for more cycles of long and short that you can hedge together. But there is far more risk, and some people just don't get it. They just don't understand in their own mind how you make money by going short, by selling a stock before you buy it. I've got a brother, extremely intelligent guy, has been involved in shares his whole life, and I've explained shorting to him I don't know how many times, and it just doesn't register. He just still can't get how you make the money. So it can be a little bit harder to understand. It is potentially far more difficult. As I said earlier, it's highly regulated. You can always buy a stock. You can't always short sell a stock. Sometimes it's just, even with CFDs, sometimes I go to short sell and there's none to sell. So you can't always get on when you want to. So hopefully that sort of explains the basics around short selling and hedge funds. And if you have any questions at all, I'm happy to go into deeper discussion. So just either contact me via my email or put a message in the comments below. Okay, thanks guys. Now what I am going to do, I am going to update the Australia's Greatest Stock Picker competition. I haven't looked at it myself for 3 or 4 days. So I have no idea who is on top. So I'm looking forward to doing this as much as you. Okay, g'day guys. Now, here we go, having a look. It's been about a week since I've had a look at these. And yeah, there's not a lot has changed. There's a few I think have made a bit of a charge up the ladder. But anyway, we'll go through the total, or all the shares for each of you, so you can have a look at them individually. We'll pick out a few as we're going down. Amy Chan still going well. CLA up 50%. So she's got 3 good stocks going. So very well picked, Amy. Who else we got going? Aussie Wealth Creation, young Brandon doing very well. Galaxy's hurting him, but Fast Brick have been very good, and MMJ doing well. What else we got? Jordan down 10%. Jordan Johns. Bad competition for the Jordans. He's down 10% too. What else? Anything else of note? Sector Lead down 13%. KRC down 20. This one here down 25.6. MAG down 14%. So Sector Lead's hurting. Kane Brown down 12%. Finance Rambling down 10%. Yeah, unfortunately, Finance Rambling, you've got Blue Sky, who are down 44%, all on their lonesome. Yeah, you've got Triple T, same as me. They're in the trading hold, I think, currently. They could be out, I can't remember now. And Bub, who are doing quite well, up 10%. So you take out this BLA, the other 2 stocks are going quite nicely. Finance Rambling, but unfortunately, that one is killing you. Another one here with BLA, Kevin Young. Oh mate, you're hurting. You've got A2M down 7%, Blue Sky down 44%, and that's Bellamy's down 6.5% as well. So under pressure, young man, Kevin. And we go right down to the bottom. Lakshan Ranatunga doing well, Gab doing well. Mr. Forking Hell still doing well. Terry Taylor, you're still hurting. What have you got? Oh, you got New Hera. Yeah, they've been suffering. IAM, not sure who they are, but they're down. And ARE, they're down as well. So yeah, you're under pressure, young Mr. Taylor. Douglas White down. So there we go. Anyway, that's everyone. You can have a look at your own there to see how your 3 are going. And now we'll flick over to the ladder. And we'll go from bottom to top once again. Kevin Young at the moment is in 84th place, down nearly 20%. We'll go up. You can see how you're going. There's a lot of people in the red at the moment. You know, most of the field are in the red. We don't get to the green. So the top 35, so out of 84 people, 35 are in the green, 49 are in the red. Interesting. So we head up towards the top. Top 10 now. Aussie Wealth Creation, Brandon doing well. Lakshan Ranatunga, you've just sort of flown under the radar, buddy. I haven't really seen you before, but there you are up in 4th place now. So they come from nowhere. Let's just go back and have a look what you've got, Lakshan. What have you got there? KDR, they're up 2%. CUV, up 17%. They're going very well. And FIG, they're up 16.5% as well. So 3 nice picks there, Lakshan. Doing very well at the moment. Okay, so Lakshan in 4th, Gav is in 2nd, and that's me. Sorry, Gav 3rd, that's me 2nd, and Amy Chan is still on top at 20.484%. Now we have 3 trading days left. We got it's tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Monday. And I will be announcing the winner after close on Monday, the winner of the first $100 voucher. So whoever's on top gets it. Obviously, I won't, if I am, I won't take a prize. And also, Brandon has declared he won't because he was a bit late with his tips as well. But anyone else, whoever's on top after Monday's trade will get the first $100 voucher. Okay, so that's it, guys. Today is April 25th, Anzac Day. I hope you've had a good day. Congratulations to the Magpies for their win in the Anzac Day game. Thank you to all the guys and girls that serve our country now and in the past. It's a great country to live in, and I personally really appreciate the sacrifice people have made, and I can't imagine ever doing the same thing myself. So the bravery is just unbelievable. Next video will be the end of month video. I think that's Monday coming up, where I will be announcing the winner of the first winner, the $100 voucher winner for the competition. So look out for that, and I will talk to you guys then.